How good, my son, how good, my daughter, that you have dedicated your time to listen to me. This is of utmost importance. I needed to draw you to this video today because I don't want you to keep ignoring what I have been trying to show you. I don't want you to keep living with your eyes closed while the world around you screams for attention, while your soul tries to resist an inner collapse, while your home silently cries out for help, while your spirit asks for direction, but your mind pretends everything is fine. Today, I, your God, tell you, stop pretending you don't see what I've been warning you about. Stop pretending you don't feel the signs, the nudges from heaven, the tears that appear out of nowhere, the emptiness that surprises you, the words that hit you hard when no one is watching. Open your eyes, my son. Open your eyes, my daughter, and look around you. What is happening is not a coincidence, not random, not an exaggeration. It is the fulfillment of words that for so long were ignored. It is the answer to your prayer, God, show me what I'm not seeing. And today, with love, zeal, and urgency, I come to show you. Look around, see how hearts are growing cold, how families are breaking inside, how marriages that seem strong are crumbling because of lack of forgiveness, how parents and children drift apart, even living under the same roof, how people cry out for help while smiling on social media, how violence stopped being shocking and became routine, how what was once absurd is now considered normal, how lies have become decorated truths, how values have been inverted and truth has become a reason for mockery. Do you really think all this is just part of the modern world? Do you think it's mere coincidence, the fruit of evolution? No, my son, no, my daughter, this is decay. This is spiritual blindness. This is the reflection of a world that has rejected me. And by rejecting the light, got used to walking in darkness. And that is why today I tell you, don't pretend anymore that you don't see, because those who pretend not to see never change, and those who don't change risk getting lost. Look at the news. Announced tragedies. Wars that seem far away but cross continents in seconds. Children disappearing, youth without purpose, destroyed families, men and women emotionally sick, pretending strength but collapsing inside. Anxiety has become the language of these times. Depression knocks at the door without permission. Evil no longer hides. And yet many say everything is under control, but it is not. And I tell you this not to scare you, but to wake you up, because as long as you keep pretending you don't see, your heart will harden, your faith will be suffocated, your hope will slowly fade, and one day it may be too late. That is why I insist, open your eyes, see what is around you, but above all, look inside yourself, because there is something inside you that you also pretend not to see. That sadness that doesn't go away, that tiredness without reason, those urges to give up that appear on the most unexpected days, that smile that hides tears, that everything is fine, that doesn't even convince your soul. I know your pillow soaked with tears. I know the prayers you whisper so no one hears. I know the nights you lie in the dark, staring at the ceiling, trying to understand where everything started to go wrong. I know that feeling of being surrounded by people and still feeling alone. And that is why I have come, because I did not create you to live in that state of spiritual numbness. I did not call you to be a spectator of chaos. I created you to be light in the midst of darkness, to be salt that preserves what is still holy, to be a bridge, refuge, testimony, to bring healing in the midst of pain. But first you need to open your eyes. You need to see where you are. You need to stop denying that you are lost, because only those who recognize they are lost can be found. And yes, I know it is easier to pretend everything is fine, to pretend there is still time, to pretend that toxic relationship can still work, that friendship that pulls you away from me is not so dangerous, that hidden habit is not so harmful, that environment where your soul feels suffocated is just a phase. But I ask you now, how many more phases can your soul endure? How many more times will you try to fit in places that are distorting you inside? How many times will you promise me a change only to return to the same cycle a week later? How many times will you ignore that discomfort you feel when approaching certain people, places, or behaviors? That is not just intuition. It is me trying to warn you. It is me whispering in your spirit, son, get out of there. Daughter, come back to me. I have something better. I have something eternal, but you have to stop. Stop running. Stop pretending. Stop insisting on paths that do not lead to the light. Today, I have not come to accuse you. I have come to wake you up, because I love you too much to let you keep spiritually asleep while the world around you roars. I love you so much that I cannot allow your heart to harden to the point of no longer hearing me. I am the one who knocks on the door, not with force, but with insistence. And I knock once more now because time is running out, and even if your eyes do not see the heavenly clock, time in heaven does not delay. There are promises that need to be fulfilled. There are people who must be reached through you. There are words that only your mouth can release. There are homes that only your consecrated presence can restore. But if you remain blind, wounded, exhausted, pretending you are fine, how can I use you? How can I work through you if you have not yet let me work inside you? I see your fears. I know it is scary to face the truth head on. I know it hurts to recognize that some things are out of place, that people you love are far from me, that your home needs more than human advice, it needs my real presence. But I promise you, if you let me in, I will put everything in its place. I will heal what psychology cannot reach. I will restore what was broken since childhood. I will uproot the pain you learned to hide. I will cleanse your mind of destructive thoughts. I will breathe hope into the corners where your soul had already buried dreams. But that only begins when you decide to open your eyes, when you decide to stop running, when you acknowledge you need help and sincerely say, Father, show me what I am not seeing. Because when you ask me that, I do not deny light to those who truly want to come out of darkness. And yes, darkness may seem comfortable. After all, in the dark, you don't see the details, you don't see the dirt, you don't face the mess, but you also don't grow in the dark. You don't bloom, you don't heal, you don't get reborn. That is why today I invite you to walk toward the light, even if it hurts, even if it exposes wounds, even if it brings to the surface memories you thought you had forgotten, because the light does not come to condemn, it comes to heal. And I am the light that heals, my son. I am the light that transforms, my daughter. I am the God who, even seeing everything, chooses to love, chooses to forgive, chooses to start over with you as many times as necessary. But there comes a time when the time is fulfilled, when the door closes, when the warning becomes consequence. And that is why, with all the pain and all the love in my heart, today I come to beg you, do not harden your heart. Do not ignore my warnings anymore. Open your eyes, look at me, walk toward me because I'm still here. I still extend my hands. I still bend down to listen to you. I still move to the sound of your voice when you pray. I still wait for you in your deepest silences, in your closed rooms, in your early mornings when anguish tightens and no one understands. I am still here even when you walk away. I keep calling you even when you choose paths that do not lead to me. I do not give up easily. I do not abandon those I have chosen. And I chose you. I saw you before everything began to fall apart. I saw you when no one else believed. I saw you even when you pretended to be strong, and still I stayed, I remained. And now I call you back. Return, my son, return, my daughter. Return with your tiredness. Return with your doubts. Return with your sins. Return with your traumas. Return with that heavy baggage that has been hurting your back for too long. Because I don't want you light later, I want you now just as you are. Because only those who return sick know the power of the healer. Only those who come back wounded understand the value of the healing embrace. Only those who return dirty feel the miracle of being cleaned by love. And I want to cleanse you, I want to restore you. I want to make you a new vessel, I want to teach you again the sound of peace. I want to rebuild your spiritual house, not on sand but on rock, not on appearances but on truth, not on religion but on relationship. Because what I want from you, my son, my daughter, is intimacy. Not just words, not just occasional visits, but constant presence, attentive eyes, a broken heart, a sensitive spirit. Because without that, my warnings go unnoticed. My directions are ignored, and life becomes a cycle of meaningless repetitions, of wounds that never heal, of stories that don't move forward. How many more times will you wait for everything to collapse to seek my embrace? How many times will you live on the edge of exhaustion to remember your strength has an end? How many times will you pretend everything is under control when deep down you know control slipped from your hands long ago? I do not accuse you for that. I understand your fear of failing. I understand your attempt to protect yourself from what has already hurt you. But today, with all the tenderness of my spirit, I ask you, trust me once more. Let go of what you are holding on to out of fear of losing it. Let go of the control you insist on keeping out of pride. Let go of the past you try to bury, but still haunts you. Let go of the human promises that were broken and left your heart distrustful, because as long as your hands are full of what does not serve you, I cannot give you what truly heals you, and I want to heal you. Heal you from the disappointments that left you incredulous. Heal you from the harsh words that defined your identity. Heal you from abandonment, rejection, loneliness. I want to heal you completely, but you have to let me in. And when I enter, my son, everything changes, not because you will live a life without struggles, but because your soul will be sustained even in the fire. Because you will have peace even if the world is at war, because you will know your life is not adrift, but in the hands of a Father who cares for every detail, a Father who even limits the wind, who allows the valley but walks with you inside it, who does not prevent tears but collects every one of them, who transforms dark rooms into altars of reunion, who enters chaos and reorganizes everything. I am that Father, and I am the one speaking to you now, the one who invaded your day with this word, the one who awakened your heart with this voice, because I love you, and my love does not give up. My love does not tire. My love reaches to the end. And today, once again, my love has come to rescue you. Son, daughter, open your eyes. Look around with the eyes of the Spirit. See how many people walk empty, even having everything the world can offer. See how humanity exchanged the sacred for the superficial. How the name of my son is trivialized in jokes. How pain became a spectacle. How compassion became the exception. How truth became offense. How sin became fashion. You were not born to adapt to that. You were not born to be part of the herd walking, smiling toward the abyss. You were born to be a voice. You were born to make a difference. You were born to be light where there is darkness. But how will you shine if you still carry darkness in your chest? How will you guide others if you yourself no longer know the way? That is why today, before any mission, I come to restore your vision. I come to remove the veil from your eyes. I come to show you that that relationship that seemed blessed was a disguised bond, that that door that opened too quickly was a trap, not a blessing, that that irresistible invitation was only a distraction to take you off the path. That friendship you cling to so much is draining your faith, that fear you feel every time you try to come back to me is a lie from the enemy, that your story is not over, it is only paused, waiting for your surrender. And when you surrender, I will unlock what was locked, I will release what was held back, I will restore what was dead, I will make flow what was dry, because I am God of renewal. And to those who decide to see, I give eagle vision, not ant vision. I give vision of the future, not of trauma. Son, daughter, listen to me. I never stop speaking, but now I am shouting in the Spirit, shouting to tell you that time is short, that there are decisions that can no longer be postponed, that there are changes that must happen now, that there are people watching you, waiting for your firmness to affirm themselves too, that there is a whole generation depending on your obedience, that there are destinies that will be activated when you say, yes, Lord, I open my eyes, I surrender, because your surrender will influence far more than you imagine. Will save your home, heal your blood, break cycles, restore your identity, free your mind, attract my glory. But only if you stop pretending, only if you have the courage to look at what I am showing you, because there are things that can no longer be ignored. So now, my son, my daughter, with all the intensity of my love, I ask you, do not delay it anymore. Do not ignore it anymore. Do not treat as small what I am showing you so clearly. Open your eyes and realize the world is groaning. Promises are being fulfilled. Heavens are in motion, and your heart needs to align with what I am doing. Enough of going in circles. Enough of distracting yourself with what only takes you away from me. Enough of calling normal what is killing your faith. You are my inheritance. You are the answer to someone's prayer. You are someone who carries destiny, purpose, power. But you need to see me again, seek me again, listen to me again. And if today you are hearing this voice, it is no coincidence. It is because your spirit still reacts to my presence. It is because even with a wounded heart, there is still inside you a spark crying out, God, don't let me get lost. And I will not let you. I will not allow you to get lost. I will not let your light go out. I will not give up on you. But I need your response. I need your surrender. I need you to say, I open my eyes, Lord. Show me, guide me, teach me, and I will go. I will restore your vision, heal your soul, set your feet on the right path, and you will finally live what I have prepared for you, not a little but all. Because for those who open their eyes, I open the heavens, and today the heavens are ready. Only you need to see. Only you need to believe and walk, because the time of blindness is over and the time of revelation has begun. Scene script. I know how long you've been trying to hold yourself together, putting on a brave face, keeping things functioning on the outside, while internally you feel like you're unraveling. I see how weary your soul has become, how even your laughter sometimes feels forced, and how you often wish someone would notice the pain you hide so well. But I have noticed. I have watched you navigate through storms no one else knew existed. And though others only see the calm you maintain, I see the wind in your chest and the waves in your thoughts. I am the one who counts your silent tears and holds them like treasure, not shame. You don't need to keep performing. I never asked for a perfect act. I asked for a surrendered heart. I want you real, not rehearsed. I want the you that cries in secret, that questions, that stumbles, but still longs for me. That version of you is the one I've been walking with all along. Let me take you back to your first love, back to the innocence of when your heart still believed, when my presence was enough and you didn't need answers to trust me. Return to that simplicity, because somewhere along the way you got tangled in expectations, distracted by comparisons, burdened by the opinions of people who never saw your full story. But I did. I still do. I see the original blueprint. I remember the you I designed. I know you've tried to reinvent yourself to survive. I know you've adjusted your personality, reshaped your passions, even quieted your voice so others wouldn't leave. But in doing so, you began to lose the sound of your own soul. And now I'm calling that sound back. Not just your voice, but your essence, your divine identity. I want you to rediscover what it means to live from your spirit, not your survival mode. I want you to be more than functional. I want you whole. Healing is not just about feeling better. It's about reclaiming territory, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, that the enemy tried to steal from you. It's about walking again with authority in places where you once crawled in fear. I want to give you joy that is not fragile. I want to teach you peace that doesn't collapse when circumstances shift. I want you to know the kind of stability that is rooted in who I am, not in what happens around you. So let's start there, with your foundation. Because if the foundation is cracked, no matter how beautiful the structure looks, it won't last. I want to rebuild you from the deepest place, from the ground up, so that nothing can shake what I place in you. Your calling cannot rest on wounds. Your purpose cannot bloom in shallow soil. Let me dig deep, even if it hurts, because only in depth will you find unshakable strength. You've made peace with dysfunction for too long. You've called instability normal because it's all you've known. But I am breaking those patterns now. I am confronting every lie that told you chaos is your home. You were not born to constantly be in fight or flight. You were created for peace, rest, and clarity. And though you've worn exhaustion like armor, I want to teach you how to lay it down. Yes, I will fight for you, but I also want to teach you to stop fighting yourself, to stop sabotaging your joy before it fully arrives, to stop questioning whether you're worthy of good things. You are. Let me touch the places you've closed off, the corners of your heart where grief has settled like furniture. The moments you've frozen in your memory because they were too painful to relive, but too important to forget. I am not afraid of your memories. I'm not afraid of your past. I can walk into every room in your soul and not flinch. I come with light, not condemnation. I come to restore what you buried and redeem what broke you. There are gifts inside you that have been dormant, not dead, dreams that still pulse beneath the layers of disappointment. I can resurrect those places if you let me breathe into them again. Do not call it over just because it's quiet. Do not call it finished just because you can't see movement. I often work in silence, in slow processes, in the unseen roots before the fruit appears. You've asked me for a sign, but sometimes the sign is the hunger itself. That persistent stirring inside you, that ache that won't go away, that is not emptiness, that is me drawing you deeper. And deeper is where I want to take you. Away from surface-level faith, away from shallow comfort, into the deep waters of my presence where fear drowns and true identity emerges. Yes, the deep is risky. Yes, it's unfamiliar. But that's where your faith becomes sight. That's where the transformation happens. That's where you learn to walk on what once overwhelmed you.